Hello, everybody. My name is Melvise from Written Words Publishing. I am an editor, a ghostwriter, a publisher, and I'm also an author. And I come on live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 o'clock. And we are reading and revising my manuscript, my book. It's a book, it's a novel. We are reading and revising it. We're going to fix it. And then we are going to republish it. Yes. So we're up to chapter 8. So if you've been following along and hearing this live book makeover, you're well aware of the main characters of this book. Okay. And this particular chapter is about Darlene out doing something she ain't got no business doing. And it's a little raw and raunchy. Just FYI, just heads up right now. If you don't like raw and raunchy, now this is not a raw and raunchy. This is not a raw and raunchy book. Okay, this is women's fiction, and for the most part, the majority of the story is quote unquote clean. However, all of the characters are not clean, and this particular chapter right here is not clean. Okay, just letting y'all know that right now. So I don't want nobody to hear me read this chapter and be like, oh, okay, this is just what it is. This is just where we are in this story on this particular chapter on this particular day. Okay, so like I said, it's a little raw and raunchy. Not gonna say the cuss words, but it starts off with a super bang. Okay, full disclosure. All right, chapter 8, first round knockout, June 2005. Darlene stepped out of the bathroom wearing a black lace crotchless bodysuit. There's a comma missing right here after lace. Pet laid on the king size bed, propped up on 3 large plush pillows. She climbed on the bed and stood over him. You know what? Well, okay. These words, when I wrote this, I specifically just use the, what's the word I'm looking for? The body parts. Basically, the actual name of the body parts is what I use here. But I will let y'all know again, this right here is explicit. So I'm just gonna have to read it. It's just, it is what it is, okay, y'all. It's all right. Chapter 8, first round knockout, June 2005. Darlene stepped out of the bathroom wearing a black lace crotchless bodysuit. Pet lay there. It says Pet lay there on the king size bed, but I'm going to change that to spread out across the king size bed. Pet was propped up on 3 large plush pillows. Hold on a second, y'all. I gotta write it before I forget it. Spread out across. Yeah, that's much better. Spread out across the king size bed. Pet was propped up on 3 large plush pillows. If you saw any of my previous videos, then you heard me say that when you think about it, make sure you write it down as soon as you think about it. If you don't catch it as soon as it's fresh on your mind, then poof, it's gone. That's why I had to stop because I wanted to rewrite that sentence. And if I would not have written it down as soon as I was thinking about it, I would have totally forgot how I wanted to reword it. I'm just going to highlight it so I know that that is a reworded sentence. And I'm just going to stick my note right here in between the pages. All right. Again, for anybody who just came in, I'm reading chapter 8. It's a little raunchy. Just FYI. Darlene stepped out of the bathroom wearing a black lace crotchless bodysuit. Spread out across the king size bed. Pet was propped up on 3 large plush pillows. She climbed on the bed and stood over him with her moist vagina in his face. She opened her legs and used both hands to open her labia, revealing an erogenous clitoris, and then she licked her lips. Are you ready for this? You know it. He replaced her fingers with his, gently rubbing his thick index finger on her G-spot. His face was in perfect alignment with her crotch when he sat straight up. He licked and sucked until she came. The pleasure was so intense she took a step back. Pet pushed Darlene down on her back. He climbed on his knees and raised her left leg, licking the bottom of her foot from the heel to the top of her big toe. Observing her pretty feet, he admired her pedicure. French. He grinned as he kissed and sucked on her pinky toe. He opened her legs as wide as they would spread and proceeded to thrust his long, thick, hard, you know what, deep inside of her. He effed her until she exploded. Then he effed her some more. The next thing Darlene knew, she was waking up in a pool of coming sweat, and Pet was gone. She looked at the clock on the hotel nightstand. 12:49, she whispered. Oh, sugar honey iced tea. Darlene leaped up and scurried into the bathroom to quickly wash up. She rushed home and walked through the front door at 1:30 to find Marcus wide awake, sitting at the foot of the stairs. Of all the nights for him to wait up, he had to pick the night Pet knocked me out in the first round, was the first thing that came to mind when she saw him sitting there. D, what's going on? It says Marcus asked, we're going to take Marcus ass out. Then it says Darlene pretended, but we're going to change that to she. Like I mentioned previously, we got overuse of character names here, so some of them have to come out. D, what's going on? She pretended to be annoyed by his question. What are you talking about? I'm talking about you coming home at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm talking about this being the 4th time you came home late this week. Now, I want to know what's going on. You're the one always talking about pinching pennies and saving money. I'm just trying to earn a little extra unaccounted for dough of my own. There go that word again. I said that I'm not sure if people knows what dough means. I might just change that to a little extra cash. I'm just trying to earn a little extra unaccounted for um, dough of my own. If I can't waste my time spending your money, I may as well spend more time making mine, said Darlene. I'm gonna take out this said Darlene. Oh, choose. Also, another error I see here. I'm sorry, excuse me, y'all. It says making minds with an S. That's incorrect. It should be mine. It's never, whenever you're talking about mine, it's not minds. We have the tendency to say minds, and if you have the tendency to say minds, you might have the tendency to type minds, but minds is incorrect. It's mine, E, period. That's all fine and good. But do you have to work every night? Don't you think spending some time with me would be nice? Darlene raised her voice. You act like I control the workload. I don't have any control over when those attorneys need assistance. All I can do is guarantee my availability and the quality of my services. She walked into the kitchen and took the orange juice out of the fridge. I already told you, Earl has a big case going on, and Kat's daughter is sick, so she didn't come to work today. He has a response to complete before going to court on Monday. He asked me to stay late a few times this week. You know I'm the best word processor at JK. Don't lie to me, D. I called your desk at 8 o'clock and you weren't there. Then I called again at 10, then at 12, and I got your voicemail each time, he said frustratingly. Duh, did you stop to think that maybe I wasn't working at my desk tonight? She took a swallow of juice. Earl made me sit at Kat's desk. It says Darlene quickly changed the subject before Marcus had a chance to respond. Oh my goodness, you know what I found out? You remember Mary, our old receptionist? Earl fired her a couple of months ago. You remember? Yeah, I remember her. White, blonde, skinny. Yeah, that's her. Well, while I was sitting at Kat's desk, I saw a copy of a claim she filed with the EEOC. She took another swallow of juice. Says Darlene, I'm going to change that to she. Can you believe that? That's crazy. On what grounds? Reverse discrimination. Reverse discrimination? You can't be serious. Marcus was flabbergasted. I'm just as serious as cancer. But how can she claim reverse discrimination? I'm not 100% sure. I was too busy to read the whole thing. From what I can tell, she's claiming that Earl fired her because she's white. She claims that right before he fired her, he told her she was dumber than a 16-year-old blonde. Damn, that's screwed up. Ain't it though? You know, Preston got her hookup on a grant for Bly Towers. Stipulations for receiving residential grants clearly state the applicant must be of black or Indian descent. That blue-eyed lady ain't nowhere near Native American, and she damn sure ain't black. You don't know that, Marcus emphatically insisted. Yes, I do. Anyway, I called Mary to find out what's going on. Do you know her phone is disconnected? She must be doing real bad. I wonder if Marvin kicked her out since she doesn't work for his beloved grandson anymore. Do you think he would do that? You never know. I don't think so. It's not like he's in it for the money, says Marcus remarked. I don't think I'm going to take that out. Darlene put the juice back in the fridge. I don't know. Come on, let's go to bed. I'm worn out. And with that, the interrogation ceased. Darlene walked up the stairs with a grin on her face, and Marcus followed. Now that was short and quick, and bang, bang, boom. What else is there? Is there to do? Yeah, I think this might be the shortest chapter in the book. It was short, but it told a lot. So basically, you know that Marcus is Darlene's husband, and obviously Marcus was not the one that she was with at the hotel that evening. And she comes home and he's sitting there waiting for her. She's like, dang, why he gotta pick tonight to wait up for me? Because her side piece just knocked her out on the first round. And then Marcus is questioning her, questioning her integrity. Why you spending so much time at work? Well, Marcus is tight with his money, so she's using that as an excuse. Like, yeah, I'm just trying to get some extra money so I can have some money to spend since you don't want me spending money around here. Then when he starts questioning her, well, I called your desk. You wasn't at your desk. I called this time, that time, that time. What's going on? And she changed the subject on him. Changed the subject. Now, changed the subject. Got him on a total another page. Now he ain't asking her about where she was at or what she was doing until 1 o'clock in the morning. And with that, that's the end. That's the end of the chapter. Poor Marcus. But he will clap back later on once he realizes what's going on. I mean, I wouldn't want to tell you the story ahead of time, but I am going to read the whole story live here, so you will find out the whole story anyway. So just know, if you feel sorry for Marcus, nice, sweet husband, loyal husband, who cares about his wife, even though by the time we finish this book, you're going to be ready to snatch her up somewhere and knock her out and with your fist. He still loves her, and he's trying until he reaches his breaking point. So that is the end of chapter 8. I appreciate y'all of being here and listening. And like I said, you can watch the replays and get the story from the beginning. Go back to whatever platform you happen to be watching this on, and go back and look at the posts or the videos, the uploads, whatever it is,